Okay, Be'ezrat Hashem, we're back here at the Limud at Maor Yitzchak, B'shat Masachat, with the Knesset in Maple Ridge. We're learning from Sefer Yirat HaShem, Rab Moshe Amber. Alav Shalom. Zeh ma shefa. Okay. So we're continuing on the 23rd of Kislev, Tuesday, the third day of the week of Parshat Shabbat Miketz. So we spoke yesterday, in reference to the Chinuch, how important it is to start teaching children way before 7 is better, but from 3 to 7 to be very, very meticulous and be a little bit strong and hard on children. And you can't start being hard, obviously, after 20. Today, in reference to Chinuch Eladim, many people get angry at home. And so I learned from a big Chacham, is that there is such a rule, it's kedai to say it now, a rule called Ones Rahmana Pater. If a person sees that his children don't listen to him anymore, what are you going to do? What should he do? We're talking about children after bar mitzvah and bat mitzvah. Specifically, below bar mitzvah, use your hands, use a belt if you need to on the tusik, no problem. No problem at all. I promote it, I teach it. Somebody tells me, Rabbi Sofer, the police going to be after you. What for? The legal law in America, you are allowed to whip your children, even with a belt, below the belt, in the back. As long as you don't leave bruises, you're good. Enjoy. As long as you don't leave bruises. So you hit him without a bruise. So if you take your hand and you give him on his tusik, and it's going to make an impact on him, go ahead. Few rules involved, obviously, in hitting your children. One of them is not to be angry when you're hitting them. Very important rule. But there has to be. The children have to be taught. And I already taught many times, I already said it, that most of the laws, child abuse laws, were created specifically for Jewish people not to train their children how to behave. It is all done, again, remember that. Everything Goy does in this world, Halacha Esav Sonet Yaakov. It's a law. Christians, Goyim, they do all laws specifically designed to hurt Jews and to not allow us, to dissuade us from teaching our children. And look at this. Look what's happening in Lakewood, what's happening in Flatbush, in Brooklyn, in Borough Park, with children, Jewish children. Whoever would have...
One of the issues today is that people don't know how to control their anger.
That's besides the point. But that's
very far from being at the right level not to get angry.
Okay, good.
Everybody gets angry.
Very good.
Get very angry.
Very right. Okay, but again, the concept is, let's say even if I'm angry, and the child is about to, kill himself. Well, just because I'm angry, I'm not allowed to stop him. Of course, you're allowed to stop him. Where it's possible, I'm saying. If it's possible not to be angry when you punish a child, good. If not, then not. But the question is, right now, is that all these laws are designed specifically to hurt the Jewish nation, and you have to know why. A Goy, a non-Jew, they're very receptive. The Goy is like what's his name? It's, wherever the crowd goes, they're a bunch of sheep that follow the crowd. The Goyim, they don't have this wisdom like a Jew is trying to figure out a way to beat the system. Amen. The Goyim don't beat the system. They love the system and they go with it. That's the way they're programmed. If you see today anywhere in the world the Goyim that are trying to beat the system, I will not be surprised if they have Jewish blood in them. What people don't understand, Jewish is not a religion. Jewish is a life. We have certain genes, and we are designed that way, that we have to figure out a ways around. The Goy, non-Jews, they have zero concern how to figure things out. Whatever is placed without in front, they'll go with it. Most Goyim are like that. That's why in a store they never argue, they never bargain, nothing. Just go with the flow. That's the way Goy is. A Jew is designed to go against the flow. specifically for that reason. Because Hashem wants us to use our wisdom to go against the flow. Because remember, there are much more goyim than Jews. So since we are designed to go against the flow, so we're designed, instead of using it l'tovah, we have, remember, 13 years, the first 13 years, there is no tovah, there is no good in a child. There is no good. You know, there's a foolish statement, children are innocent, it's fine, whatever they do is good. No. It's all evil, pure evil until the age of 13. And they're guided to be everything, to utilize that element of going against the stream for whatever it's going to make them happy. So it's incumbent on the parents. That's why we have an obligation. That's why Masechta Makot says, and again, Atzta Halacha, Rambam, everybody agrees. If a parent trained his children and he kills him in middle of training, meaning whips him and he dies, the child, the parent doesn't have to go to Galut. Because first of all, no parent wants to kill his child. That's not feasible. That's not feasible. No, it's not feasible. Okay? No parent wants to kill. You didn't give birth to the child to kill him. Okay? That's one thing. So the Gemara says, and the high is, if a parent kills his parent, the child, while beating him up, it's not his fault. He doesn't get galut. Because we are obligated to train our children. And because they're up to 13 years old, they have this element of going against, which is already lechatchila. We all trained to go against. This is the way we are. We are trained, and it's supposed to benefit us, meaning not to come into peer pressure. The whole point of going against, instilled in us, is not to fall into peer pressure. But children don't know that they're not supposed to go into peer pressure. So they do everything into peer pressure. Everything they do around. If you take a look at your children, but my friends, but my neighbor, but his kids are like this, right? They're always pointing that out. Why? Because that's what they see. That's their entire life is all based on that till certain age. And it's incumbent on the parents to feed their children. It's incumbent to take it out of them, to give them like, hello, Adkan, until here. Until here. And also it's not for everything you hit. Something you know that is going to present harm even in the near future, even in the distant future, maybe hit him. But just because here or there, sometimes misbehaving, not every time you have to hit him. I'm not for that. But it has to be done b'cheshbon. But completely to stop hitting because of that, and you have to understand the goyim. The rabbi already said, Rabbi Moshe Amber, everything that what I'm saying right now, Rabbi Amber already said it beautifully. Every law that they combine is to harm the Jews. This law is also. Take a look at how this whole law was implemented. The law of hitting your children, or against hitting your children, what do they do? It's an emotional law. It was actually an emotion. There was an emotion that was a family or somebody abused somebody, killed somebody. It was not even a real father, it was a stepfather. So they took that and they made a law into it. Oh, child abuse. If you take, I don't have money, we'll come back to Mazat later. So it was over exaggerated, and it was so elevated. Wow, you see the parent, who was not even the parent, was a stepfather. The first case, take a look at the history of this whole child abuse business in the late the early 90s. That's how it started. I would say 1992 or something like that. 91, 92, or maybe even 93. There was a case that turned the opinion of the community, of the crowd opinion. It was actually probably a staged idea also. That there was there was a case where there was finally somebody killed somebody. Never heard of 80s a parent killing a child. 70s, 60s, 50s when children were literally on television were beaten up. They would beat up the child if they didn't behave. And nobody is murdered. And all of a sudden they decided that this is it. Right now we're going to start controlling, we're going to harm the Jews. It's all done specifically against the Jews. The whole program was because they know that the Jews are controlled by hitting a child. That's the way to control them. It has to be that way. So what did they do? Now you can't even slap your child to go to jail. So look at the outcome. All over Borough Park, all over Flatbush, all over Lakewood. Children and teenagers, they do things you would not dream about. They're doing things. I was a troublemaker. I tell you the truth. My mother was called to the principal office nonstop. Okay, let's just say like this. I was such a troublemaker, I ran away from a camp. Upstate, talking about maybe half a day drive back to Tashkent. And I escaped from that camp, and when I came home, they were already, the police was in my house looking for me. We talk about troublemaking. You know what troublemaking is, people? They don't even know it. I would never dream what kids doing today in Borough Park, in Flatbush, in Lakewood. I would never dream about doing these things. And I'm talking to you, criminal, where they're sentencing these kids to jail left and right. And why is this? Because the parents were told, don't hit your children. And then some people would, those nice political correct people. You have to be with your children. Is it? How you gonna with a child who has no Etzer Tov till 13? What means until 13? No, you have to find a way to negotiate. What are you talking about? What? Hashem's Torah is a hefker? Now somebody came and designed, we're going to redefine Torah view of how to train your children. No! Give it to them. You give it to them. Between the age 3 and 7, you force them. Especially if the father is going to shul and he's not taking his kids to shul. What is he showing to his kids? Subliminal message to the kids is, your prayer is not important. My prayer is important, your prayer is not. And the child grows up, and now at the age of 12, 13, he's trying to force his kid to go to school, to shul. No, try it. What are you trying? Especially after 10. That's what the Rabbi says we have Chanukah. Chanukah is between 3 and 7 Tvachim. The best. 3 to 10 Tvachim, okay. Yatzal lechatchila. From 10 Tvachim and up, b'di'evet. People don't understand that. 10 Tvachim and up, it's b'di'evet. Why would you want to do anything b'di'evet? Why would you learn?
If you don't know the halacha, אתה עושה בדיעבד, בטעות.
No. We're talking about chinuch. There is no b'di'evet in chinuch. You don't do just to be yotze in chinuch. It's your child. It's your investment. Hamad al-Islam, you were sleepless nights. You took your wife to the hospital. You were tortured when she gave birth, before she gave birth, after she gives birth, and then flu, and this and that. Hashem Rahim. Till this baby start walking, till he start talking. You took your kishka out, and now you let him go.
You're going to do בדיעבד.
בדיעבד? מה זה? What's going on here? Okay, B'ezrat Hashem, we're going to end over here. B'ezrat Hashem, tomorrow we'll continue in Sefer Yirat Hashem. Okay.